Everyone is arguing whether AI is a bubble. Skeptics point at high valuations of companies like Anthropic, OpenAI, the circular deals that are happening. There are studies which are showing that several AI projects result in zero measurable impact. On the other hand, believers are talking about the capabilities of these large language models, what they can achieve. So here's the uncomfortable truth: they both can be right. And if you're running a business, the entire argument is actually based on the wrong question. I spent 18 years in tech and consulting, most of it building AI ML systems at companies like Meta, eBay, and Twitter. eBay, in fact, survived the last .com bubble, which most of the people are comparing this one to. So, in the next 10 minutes, we're going to talk about what this bubble debate is actually about. What happened the last time the bubble popped? And we are going to look at two key questions that, as a business owner, you can ask to understand where do you stand and how does this impact you. Everything that I show you is sourced, and the links will be in the description. If you are new to the channel, hi, my name is Abhishek Agarwal, and I help business owners put AI to work. One more thing so we are clear: none of this is stock advice. This is about whether your business adopts AI, not whether you buy shares. Let me steelman both sides. The skeptics case is also very serious because if you look at about $725 billion of big tech AI capex, then there are circular deals. Chip makers are investing in AI labs who are spending that money on the chips. There is an MIT study which shows 95% of corporate AI pilots resulted in zero profit impact. Even OpenAI's own CEO, Sam Altman, has said parts of this market are overexcited about AI. The believers case, on the other hand, is also very real. The models keep getting better. Adoption is improving. Real businesses are saving real money if these technologies are adopted right. So here's the reframe this whole video actually hangs on. That entire fight is about what AI companies are worth. You're not buying AI companies, you are buying the outcomes for your businesses, which is a different question entirely. So, what is a bubble actually? A bubble is price detaching itself from value. It's a claim about valuations, not about whether the technology works. Tulips had no floor under them. When the mania ended, nothing was left. But railroads, electricity, the internet, those manias popped too, but the infrastructure stayed because it was useful. So the real question is not, are AI prices too high? Maybe they are, but the real question is, what happens to the useful part when prices come back to earth? Let me take you back 25 years. In 1996, America deregulated telecom, and the money started flooding in. Over the next 5 years, more than $500 billion went into fiber and networks. Most of that money was borrowed. With that money, companies laid over 80 million miles of fiber across the entire US, coast to coast. All of it built on one belief: the internet is the future, which, by the way, was true. And the whole boom ran on one famous claim: internet traffic doubles every 100 days. Does that framing sound familiar in today's terms? Massive capex, borrowed conviction. So it's the same movie, but different technology. This is the actual chart on screen. March 10, 2000, the Nasdaq peaks at 5,048 points. And then it turns over. Over the next 2.5 years, it fell 78%. Amazon fell roughly 94%, from over $100 to about $6. And all that fiber, 4 years after the crash, up to 95% of that fiber sat dark, unused. Total waste, right? Hold that thought. While the stocks were dying, the internet kept growing. 361 million users in 2000, over a billion by 2005. Straight through the crash, it never even slowed down. And that dark fiber everyone called waste, it became the dirt cheap foundation of broadband. Cloud computing, streaming services, social media, the next 20 years of winners ran on that infrastructure. Pets.com died, but e-commerce won. The crash killed stock prices, it did not kill the technology. And think about Blockbuster, the video rental giant. 9,000 stores at its peak. They watched the crash and decided that internet was overhyped. Netflix was a tiny company back then. Blockbuster thought, why should we worry? This isn't just my theory. Here's Fortune running the same comparison. Everyone is wondering if and when the AI bubble will pop. Even Sam Altman from OpenAI acknowledges the parallels. You can look at the link in the description and read for yourself. This comparison is mainstream now. The question is what a business owner does with it. And that's where we are going next. So run the .com movie on AI. There could be two possible endings. Ending one, the skeptics are right. The bubble pops. Valuations crash, weak vendors will die, and all that overbuilt computing power gets cheap. That will be AI's dark fiber moment. The tools your business uses get cheaper, not weaker. Or ending two, the believers are right. Adoption compounds, and today's prices look quaint. Now, notice something about two endings. In both the cases, the technology is still in your industry in 2030. The bubble question decides who profits from selling AI. It does not decide whether your competitors use it or not. This is the study everyone quotes that you can see on screen. It's an MIT study which says 95% of generative AI pilots at companies are failing. I'm not going to dodge it, it's real. So let's sit with it. And the full MIT report is also linked below. You can have a look at it. But here is what I see when I read that study. Most of these pilots did not fail because the AI was bad. They failed because how those were bought and adopted. Companies picked the tools by different labels. They gave them more autonomy than they were ready for. And they never set up a measurement framework around it. So if you saw my first video, that is exactly the failure that it talks about. The study is not saying AI doesn't work. It is saying AI bought carelessly doesn't work. And the same study has a flip side. The 5% who actually bought and invested in it carefully are pulling millions in measured value. So your job is not to believe in AI, your job is to believe in the 5%. And here's one number from my last video. 0.4%. That's how fast the workforce is growing in this decade in America. 11,400 Americans are retiring every single day. That's why the demand for automation has a floor. The hype can come and go. The missing workers don't come back. If you haven't seen the demographics video, it's linked below, and that is the other half of this argument. So let's keep the debate aside for a second and ask two important questions. One question is, does this AI tool pay for itself today? It can be based on your unit economics at today's prices. It could be for this quarter, this half, this year, not based on vendors' valuation, but real facts for your business. Another question which you should ask as a business owner, what does my labor supply look like in 5 years? If it's shrinking, then waiting has a cost too. The bubble debate doesn't change your decision by $1 if you believe that the tool pays for itself today and the labor supply is shrinking for you. And here's the part nobody says out loud. That waiting is also a bet. You are betting that the tech stalls and that your competitors will wait with you. The .com crash punished bad valuations, but it did not reward the businesses that sat out the internet wave. Case in point, Blockbuster. So here's one thing to take home. Bubbles kill stock prices. They don't kill useful technology. This week, take one AI tool you postponed until things settle down. Run with two questions on it. Does this pay for itself today? And does my labor supply in 5 years shrink? That's your answer, not the headlines. If you want the one-page bubble-proof buying checklist and these two questions plus a 5-point test that tells you whether any AI tool pays for itself before you buy it, it's the first link in the description. Every article and study that I showed you today, MIT, Fortune, and the .com numbers, everything is linked below. Check them yourselves. And the demographics video which I'm talking about, which is the other half of the argument, is on the screen as well. If you want AI explained with real numbers instead of hot takes, please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.